Here we're going to do some letters. Working with text in Sketches is a unique thing, not like any other program. So let's start by clicking the text tool here. Now, the size of the text is dictated by the dimension tool. Just know that. So let's think about where we want the text to be. I want N to be in this block of space here. I want V to be here, O, and T. Now those letters are not all the same width, but I want them all to be the same height. So follow along. Let's do the N first. N, V, O, T. Okay, so N's going to be over here. So I'm going to, and notice on the picture, you select a corner point, you draw a box for the N to live in. So I'm going to stick it to this dot right here. I want the letters to be lined up along this line here. So I'm going to click the dot, and I'm going to bring the width out. I'm not going to let it stick to that point, and I'm not going to let it stick to that point. I don't want to create those constraints. I want to just leave it loose here, okay? And I'm going to drop it. And I'm going to type N in my box there, so it popped up there. And there's a couple different fonts. I'm just going to leave it on whatever, Poppins, whatever that is. I'm going to click bold. So there's N, and notice it made it fit the height that I chose. Okay, so I'm going to dimension this here. I want it 0.5. So now the height is what I want. Oh no, you know what? I'm going to do 0.4. It's a little big. 0.4. Enter. There. Now I want the N to be centered inside this half-inch unit here. So what I'm going to do is, when I click this point, I set a constraint. It's right here. I'm going to two-finger click, and I'm going to delete that. Now notice it went blue. That means it can be moved around. Okay? So I'm going to select that point at the bottom of this line, the center of this half-inch space, and I'm going to select this point, which is the middle of the letter, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to select in my constraints, I'm going to make sure that those 2 points are coincident, are at the same location. And it shifted my N over. And notice now it went completely black. That means it's fully constrained by height, by width, by the size of the N, and by position. Okay, let's do that again. Here we go. We're going to click the text tool. We're going to start in the middle of this half-inch space. I'm going to click that corner. I'm going to bring down the V. Okay, now at this point, what I can do is I can just touch that point there, and notice it will make it automatically 0.4. So that's easy, so let's do that. I'm not going to stick it anywhere left to right. I'm just going to let it be the width it needs to be. So I'm going to drop it. V, bold, okay. There we go. Now I'm going to break it off of here. So I'm going to make sure that I see this constraint. I'm going to two-finger click, delete. Now it's free to move. I'm going to select the bottom of this line here, that point. Select that point, and I'm going to make those points coincident. And it moved it to the center. Okay, let's do the O next. Same thing. So, text tool, click my start point. I'm going to just touch here so it remembers that the height I want. Okay, I'm going to drop it. Capital O, bold, click. There we go. Now I'm going to break this constraint by hovering over it, two-finger click, delete that entity. Now we're free to move. Once again, I'm going to select the bottom of this line and the center of my letter, and I'm going to make those two things coincident. And it moves the O into the right position. And finally, we'll do the T, same way. Text, boom, 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 T, enter, nope, not enter, green check. We're going to break this constraint, boink, and we're going to click the bottom and the center, and we are going to make them coincident. There we go. Now I've got NVOT all the same height, all perfectly centered in their respective positions. So I'm happy with that. There's the full ruler back. All right, good little exercise. Doing it 4 times builds the habits in your fingers and the knowledge of OnShape. So let's do that in VOT. All right, have a good day. Let me help. Don't forget to like and subscribe.